I am being joined by Eric Chinje, who is joining me somewhere from Africa. Eric, tell us what you know, sir, about the return of Issa Tchiroma back to Cameroon, because I know you surely have some close communication with some of his aides. What do you know about his return on the ground, sir?
Well, Chris, unfortunately, I won't be long, but let me say this.
Yes.
I was with him a short while ago. He's totally, he's at peace, he's happy, his health is good, he's motivated, he's looking forward to being sworn in. But of course, the circumstances are different from what was expected. So he's currently working with lawyers and legislators and others and preparing his governance program, and will reveal this to the nation and to the world in good time.
In good time, and when you say legislators and the rest, you're referring to Cameroon legislators?
Cameroon legislators, Cameroonian lawyers, and Cameroonian political leaders, yes. This is all about Cameroon.
It's all about Cameroon.
Yes.
So tell me, we know that he has been in Nigeria for a number of days now. Are you able to explain the circumstances under which he found himself in Nigeria?
Well, Chris, I can confirm that he was in Nigeria. That's actually where I found him, and we then traveled together. I cannot give details of where he is right now because of concerns with his security here. We will, as I say, he's working very hard to be ready when the time comes to get into office, to move and to get back to a program that begins the transformation that Cameroon so badly needs, begins to implement the changes that every citizen, except those who are directly benefiting from the system that has been in place until the end of Mr. Bia's mandate on the 5th, at midnight on the 5th of November. So he's preparing to hit the road running, and to ensure that within a very short amount of time, the critical crisis that this country faces, the crisis with the English-speaking parts of the country, the crisis in the far north of the country, in the east part of the country, the crisis of the economy, the crisis of infrastructure, the crisis of health and education and joblessness, and an economy that isn't working. Look, it's a huge task, but Cameroon has the means to address all of these issues with truth, honesty, and integrity, and that's what we're working on.
Now, he is returning to Cameroon on the eve of the planned swearing in of Paul Biya. Is it planned or just coincidence?
No, well, Mr. Tchiroma had expected to be sworn in until it became evident that the charade will continue. He had expected to be sworn in because, he went into elections. The elections were held under excellent circumstances. The reports of the Constitution and the Electoral Code both require the results were being published at the voting booth, and he was, these things were being collected. And when he got to a point where 60%, actually 80% of the votes had been counted, he realized it was clear that no other candidate who came close could surmount those results. In a normal situation, Mr. Biya should have called Issa Tchiroma on the 12th of October to congratulate him. It happened in Senegal when President Diouf called Abdoulaye Wade to congratulate him. When Mr. Wade called Macky Sall to congratulate him, and so on. It happened in many other countries, in Kenya, in Ghana, and when the power was changing hands from one party to the other.
This is my question, though.
Yes. So all of these things that happen in Africa, and the ideal thing would have been for it to happen in Cameroon, so that our democracy gets built and strengthened. But it wasn't the case anyway. Having said that, I think Mr. Tchiroma is on a different plane right now. He wants to ensure that there's no further bloodshed, that people who want to use guns in place of ballots to change power, Mr. Tchiroma doesn't want that to be the case anymore. He's hoping that our military will understand that they are not there to determine the outcome of elections, so they should not be going out with live bullets to try and impress the crowd and in the process kill innocent Cameroonians. He's hoping that the ultimate outcome of the elections is what will allow us, the truth of the elections is what will allow us to build a nation based on truth, discipline, integrity, honesty, credibility.
My question was, he is returning to Cameroon on the eve of Paul Biya's swearing in, and also at the end of the 3-day ghost towns that he called for. Is this coincidence, or this is just is a plan?
It could be one or the other, really. I mean, I didn't go into that question with him, but I think it's part of the plan. He had no intention. He's not a president for any neighboring country. He's the president of Cameroon, and he has to, he's hoping to work with a team of his people, all Cameroonians, to set the stage for the Third Republic of the nation, to address its many crises.
Is he going to address the country anytime soon on his return back to the country?
He absolutely will. He will be clear on his agenda. He will clarify that in a speech. He will be sworn in under the best of circumstances. He will outline exactly what he would be doing. He will announce a new government, and a host of other things that will be done. And of course, reassure Mr. Biya, as it should be, reassure his intention to protect the outgoing president and his family. There's no question about that.
When we spoke earlier, you mentioned the fact that there is some underground conversation between members of the regime in Yaoundé and some of his team members. Do they see a chance, a possibility that Biya may actually negotiate his way out of the regime, or there is really nothing in the loop like that?
I'm not privy to any of that stuff. I only deal with the things I believe I should be concerned with. But I suspect that there's a lot going on under the table. It's normal in any normal country. I hope that we're normal enough to see that happening in Cameroon. I think also that, as I said earlier, Mr. Tchiroma's primary concern, Chris, is to stop any further pain and stress and bloodletting in the country. That's his primary concern. So he'll do anything it takes to ensure that the future is based, as I said, on the values that we most cherish, the values of truth, of dignity and integrity. That's what he's working on.
How is he going to do that, though, ensure that peace goes or returns to the country? If he swears himself in and Biya refuses to make way, the people rise up behind him and say he is their president and go back to the streets and begin to protest. Uh,
Let,
how do you foresee
my
peace
take,
returning?
Chris, is okay. As I said, I'll need to run out shortly. But my take, Chris, is that the victory, the Issa Bakari's victory, is his victory. Is the victory of the people. It's not Tchiroma's victory. The victory of the Cameroonian young people who cannot find jobs when they leave the schools of training and the universities in the country. It is the victory of all the Cameroonians who want to see a country that has the most hydraulic potential in Central Africa and one of the most in Africa, in all of Africa. He wants to see a country with such hydraulic potential, having potable water for its homes, the generation of power, hydraulic power for its homes. He wants to see a country that can feed itself and actually export food, because we have the rich soil and we have a population that is still relatively small compared to the expanse of the land that we call Cameroon. So Mr. Tchiroma wants to see all of these things happen. It is not rocket science. It can happen. It should happen. And I hope that we go beyond the politics. I mean, I am not a politician, and when I sit down with politicians, I don't want to look at their dreams. I want to look at the reality of their agendas, and that's what I've seen with Mr. Tchiroma. If I had seen it with the current CPDM regime that is in power until midnight tonight, if I had seen it, I would have been a part of it. But I could not deal with the corruption. I could not deal with the absence of a vision. I could not deal with the inability or the unwillingness to intake new ideas that could help us redefine and rebuild our economy. If it was there, I would have been a part of this system, but I could not be, because all of the things I mentioned were absent. The corruption was everywhere. So people cried out for change, and I think I see change coming in good time.
All right. Two more things before I let you go. You can vouch for Issa Tchiroma that this is a man who is ready, for as long as he gets the support of the people. He is ready to defend his mandate and the mandate of the people. Is that what you are saying?
Yes. I think, I have known Mr. Tchiroma long enough to know that in spite of everything that's said about him, this is a God-fearing man who's humble, patriotic, and willing to give his life for what is right. He told me again when we met a few hours ago that he's willing to give his life for this.
Oh, you met with him a few hours ago?
Full length. I'm sorry?
You met with him a few hours ago?
Yes, I did, yes.
All right, wonderful.
I did. And we traveled together.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So, he's willing to go the full stretch to bring about the change. Mr. Tchiroma is not an angel. He's no better than you and me as human beings. But he is the one that has been invested. He's become the personification of the change that Cameroonians want. That's the only reason we're now determined to work with him to ensure that he delivers on that agenda, brings peace back to the country, gets the economy working again, ensures that investors come to Cameroon who actually invest on the basis of a win-win agenda, so that all of us can benefit from the wealth of the land.
Let me ask you one last question before you go. We know that up to date, most diplomatic missions in La République du Cameroun have not endorsed or congratulated Paul Biya for his alleged victory. And it is also my understanding that Tchiroma, while in Nigeria, had opportunity to talk with some world leaders. What is he hearing from them? What signals is he getting from these world leaders? Would they show up to endorse him or congratulate President Issa Tchiroma of Cameroon?
Well, Mr. Tchiroma, as many of us, believe that the problems of Cameroon have to be resolved by Cameroonians. The rest of the world is there to help us in case of need. But our problems have to be resolved by us. The battles of development in Cameroon have to be won by Cameroonians. And Mr. Tchiroma has spoken to world leaders, some world leaders, who've been very encouraging, but they are not the ones who determine who leads Cameroon. He knows that.
Right.
But he's happy he's been very happy to engage with them and talk to them and know that when the time comes, he would engage in a healthy process of exchange with these leaders and their countries. That's what we're looking for. He's not looking for some support from abroad to determine whether or not he becomes president of Cameroon. It's just he knows he won it. He's determined to get it, and he'll fight to ensure that the truth of the ballot boxes is respected in Cameroon. And then he wants to get to work.
Well, people out here want to see the swearing in happen as soon as possible. In fact, I received phone calls here and some people suggesting, hey, let it be done as quickly as possible before Biya gets sworn in tomorrow. And those are the expectations out there. The people can't wait to see him sworn in. I hope that as you speak with him, you are telling him those are the expectations out there. They are waiting for you to be sworn in.
Absolutely, Chris. And one of the first actions he will take is free political prisoners.
Okay.
People should be with their families and not in some jail house that was constructed by the colonials for maybe a few hundred people and now has thousands of people. I think Mr. Tchiroma wants to clean that out. He wants to bring respectability to the law. He wants to ensure that everybody who can contribute to rebuilding our society has a chance to do just that. So, again, as I say, Cameroonians, it is their right to get the quality leadership they seek, and it is for them to help determine the outcomes that they have worked for. That's what he hopes, that's what we all hope, and to do all of this in absolute peace and tranquility where possible.
How is his safety back in Cameroon, though? Is he really secure? Is he safe?
Well, I can also tell you that a lot of folks in the military have called to congratulate him.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he believes that, but the military, his security does not depend on the military. His security depends on, in large measure, on the will of the people, and he's counting on them to ensure that their power, to get their power back, that they make it clear that he does not want to be a martyr, but he's saying he's willing to be that, if that's what those who want to hang on to power desire.
Wonderful. It's quite interesting that he is receiving endorsements from members of the military. We hope that he stays safe and come out as soon as possible, get sworn in. That is what the people out here are desperately waiting to see.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chris, and I'll definitely let him know as soon as I can get to him again.
Let him know that his best friend, sends greetings to him.
I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that. No question about it.
All right. Thank you, Eric. We will talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, and courage.
Thank you.
That's all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Eric Chinje joining me all the way from the fief of Issa Tchiroma. They happen to be together, traveling together, talking together, planning together, and that is why when I bring sometimes some of this information, you got to know that I'm getting it firsthand.